What's up, everybody? Welcome to a PlayStation Conversation. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty. Beyond, Colin. And it's finally happened. Last of Us is coming to PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's like one of those terrible touchdown dances you see when like the
big guys,
like
the lineman.
Yeah, like when the cornerback scores on a pick six, but he hadn't prepared a dance yet.
Yeah, right. He just gets in there. Tell me all about PlayStation Now.
So today at CES, Andrew House, handsome as ever, got on the stage.
Big guy.
And he talked about this thing called PlayStation Now. Well, PlayStation Now is basically the realization of their $380 million investment in a company called Gaikai, which they bought in 2012.
Gaikai? Yeah, July 2012. They bought it. Big deal. They were like, okay, here comes streaming. We're all going to have it. And then nothing.
Yep.
Quiet on the Western front.
Well, what we kept saying, and we were right, was that they wouldn't have spent that much money when they were, by the way, they were hemorrhaging money at this time, and they still made this capital kind of infusion into this company.
Right.
For a reason, and the reason is PlayStation Now. So what it basically is a streaming service, and all we know about it right now is that it'll bring PlayStation 3 games from the PlayStation Network, I would assume, to your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation Vita. So that solves PS4's backwards compatibility problem. And it will also bring PS3 games to your tablet
and your
phone and your television set.
A television set like this one?
Yeah, like this old. Nothing says future technology like this 12-year-old. This 12-year-old CRT.
All they were saying, most Sony Bravia 2014 models will be enabled for PlayStation Now when it launches, which is going to be this summer. There is a beta launching at the end of January.
Right.
Why should people be excited for this?
Well, I think that a lot of people complain, and I think rightfully so, that PS4 doesn't have a backwards compatibility solution, not only with discs but with digital, and that was actually confusing to a lot of people.
Right.
Obviously, the cell processor's not in the PS4, thank God, but there must have been some sort of way to emulate it, right? And I think that this is going to be the way. I think what this is going to end up being, because we don't have all the details yet.
Right, still very sketchy.
Is that you're going to have access to PlayStation Network with these devices that will then let you play PS3 games that are on the system already, like The Last of Us or Puppeteer or something like that. And then probably and hopefully PS2 and PS1 classics. So this is a huge deal because you can take your game, say, on the Vita, and you can play, say, Final Fantasy VII, a PS1 classic on your Vita, send the save to the cloud, then turn on your PlayStation 4, take that back, pick it back up. Then maybe go to your mom's house for vacation or wherever you're there on holiday break, and she has a Bravia TV or another TV in the future that will support this. And then you can take the save directly from there and play it without any system at all.
And now here's what I think is interesting, right? They made a point to talk about you can demo it right now. They have Puppeteer, Last of Us, and Beyond at CES running on a Vita, running on a Bravia TV that looks like this. House said low latency on this, right? One of the big gripes I've heard people talk about is that for remote play, PlayStation Vita to PlayStation 4, right? If they're not in the same room, they're doing it, at a hotel or something like that, it's crap. It doesn't work, yada, yada, yada. The argument here would be that if you're not remote playing to another system, you're remote playing to the cloud, right? So there's no longer, there's no middleman. You're getting straight to the game. So as long as you had a good Wi-Fi connection, it should work better than remote play has in the past.
Yeah, I assume so. I mean, there's not going to be a way to completely and utterly eliminate latency in these games ever, really, because of just the nature of how we transmit data. So, but we can get it to really close, and I think Gaikai, probably showed Sony this technology in 2012, and that's why they were purchased. So hopefully it gets good, because what's interesting about this is that Sony confirmed that this will support online multiplayer, which requires no latency or very little latency. So that in itself shows a confidence in their product and that this is going to have very low latency. It's going to be very playable. It will also support trophies, which is very exciting. Oh man, it's a fat guy touchdown dance. Yeah. So this is exciting. So yeah, it launches this summer, and we'll play around with it quite a bit. It's just cool to see finally the fruition of what Gaikai was. They kept teasing it and talking about it, but they never wanted to really show what they were doing. We haven't really seen much of them probably since February when PS4 was revealed. So it's a very cool thing. I'm really looking forward to what this is because it basically cuts out the need for hardware that you don't necessarily want to buy. You don't have to have a Vita. You don't have to have a PS4. So that's
PlayStation's
cool.
everywhere now.
Yeah, and I hope that this encourages them to keep supporting PSN with classics, and that well's kind of dried up a little bit. But there's hundreds of these games already on there. So and like you said, everyone can stop talking about The Last of Us coming to PS4 because it technically will be this summer.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have boots on the ground. Scott Lowe's over there. Marty and his beard are at CES, and I gotta believe they're running over there right now to try out this PlayStation Now. So keep it locked to IGN for all your locked PlayStation Now locked news. I've never understood locked. I always think like The Simpsons, lock of the week, and it's a big lock. But then somebody over there yesterday was talking about Top Gun like a lock on.
It could be. Your eyes are locked onto this. Yeah, your hand on the mouse is locked in with the cursor.
That was a dumb thing
I don't know.
to start.
Let's just not say it anymore.
All right.
Beyond.
Yeah.